Hi, good afternoon to the attendees in the room. My name is Ian Bowie. I am a program advisor for the Teacher Education Admissions, Recruitment, and Diversity Office here at Montclair State University. We are housed in the Center of Pedagogy. We're going to get started in just a minute with the presentation. I do see more people coming in, so I just want to give respect to those just coming in now and give another minute. But we are here to talk to you today about teacher education at Montclair State University. I know all of you are a part of the College of Education and Human Services freshman class. You may be in majors such as health and physical education, family science and human development, and educational foundations for elementary teachers. So I don't see anybody else coming in right now. So once again, for those who may have just joined, I'm Ian Bowie, Program Advisor for Teacher Education Admissions, Recruitment, and Diversity in the Center of Pedagogy in the College of Education and Human Services. I'm joined by my colleague today.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Jan Johnson. I'm a program specialist for teacher education, admissions, recruitment, and diversity. Welcome. And as Mr. Bowie said, we'll get started, and we'll ask that you save your questions till the end and enter them into chat, because I don't think they're able to ask them, I don't think we have the capability. I think it has to be through chat, Ian.
It has to be through chat, yes. So chat or Q&A. They're both buttons you'll find at the bottom. They'll answer the presentation.
Oh, yeah.
The presentation isn't very long, so we have plenty of time to answer questions that you feel were not answered. Okay, so let me share the screen. Oh, I do see a hand raised just really quickly. So if you have a hand raised and you have a question, just type it in the chat box or the Q&A, and we will address it in the order in which they are received.
Oh, that's interesting. Where do you see that?
Under attendees.
Oh, there it is, the little hand next, gotcha.
Okay, so welcome to the College of Education Human Services Teacher Education Welcome Webinar. Today is Wednesday, July 30th?
29th.
29th, excuse me, the 29th. We are going to talk about a few items today. We have our presentation highlights. So we're going to talk about majors and certifications for teacher education. So which are the approved majors that correspond to our respective certification areas. We're also going to talk about our admissions criteria. So you may have heard this already, you may have not, but teacher education is a separate application process at Montclair State University. Applying to the university is one step, teacher education is another step. Also very important that education is not a major at Montclair State University. Education is considered it is a certification program. So you have to pick a corresponding major, and we have that list coming up for you. Also, we're going to talk about some organizations and programs that we have on campus that are tied very closely to teacher education. We're going to talk to you about how you could get involved in those different organizations.
So as Mr. Bowie said, teacher education is not a major. What we offer at Montclair State is teacher certification. So the first thing you need to decide as a student who's interested in teacher education is, what grade do you want to teach? What age level? We offer 3 different certifications. If you're interested in very young children, preschool through 3rd grade, that's early childhood certification. And there is only one major that you can pursue that's compatible with this certification, and that is family science and human development, with a concentration in families, children, and school settings. The second certification we offer is elementary, which is kindergarten through 6th, and we have far more options for you to choose from if you're interested in elementary certification. You could do anthropology, Educational Foundations for Elementary Teachers, English, Family Science and Human Development as well, Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies, History, Humanities, Mathematics, Psychology, Religious Studies, Sociology, and Spanish. And if you notice, next to some of these majors, almost all of them, there's an asterisk. And that's because in addition to your initial certification, you could opt to apply to our combined program. And that means you would stay an extra year and you would earn your Master's of Arts in Teaching Students with Disabilities. This is an excellent opportunity for anyone who is interested in special ed, but not every major participates in that program. And the last certification we offer is secondary, and that's for grades preschool through 12th. But mainly students who choose secondary are interested in teaching middle and high school level students. And you can see the list is very long. The sciences, we have biology, chemistry, dance education, earth and environmental science, English, French, geography, history, Italian, Latin, linguistics, which is for teaching English as a second language, mathematics, music education, physical education, physics, political science, psychology, sociology, Spanish, theater studies, and visual arts. What I'd like to point out with this certification is if you are majoring in geography, history, psychology, help me out here, Mr. Bowie. There's two others that
Political science.
Science.
Sociology.
And sociology. Those majors, if that's what you're majoring in, then you're going to have you're going to be certified to teach social studies. The other thing I like to point out with secondary certification, it says preschool through 12th grade. That could be the case if you are a dance major, a phys ed major, an art major, or
music.
There's one I'm missing, music, because there's a very good chance you could be teaching anywhere from preschool through 12th grade in those subjects. But if you're doing science, the languages, you're going to be middle and high school.
So if anyone's a phys ed major in the room, you also will, you have that opportunity to teach anywhere from preschool through 12th grade.
Yes.
That is another one of our specialty areas.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So this is an overview of the admissions process. Students typically apply to the teacher education program second semester, sophomore year. We do accept applications twice a year. The fall deadline is September 15th, and the spring deadline is February 1st. What you need to know about the spring deadline is if you are interested in our combined bachelor's master's program, that is the only time we accept those applications. So eligibility criteria. The overall GPA, which is a state requirement, is 3.0 for single certification. For the combined program, it's 3.25. You must meet the minimum GPA as well for your respective major. For the most part, the minimum GPA is 3.0. Unless you're pursuing English and social studies, then it's a 3.25. Or if you're math or science, it's a 2.75. The state also requires that all teacher ed candidates have passing standardized test scores. You can submit SAT, ACT, or a test that's called Praxis Core. And we would give you more information on that once the semester gets started. You can make an appointment with us via Zoom or phone, and we'd be happy to go into more detail. If you've taken the SAT or the ACT in high school and you feel like your scores might be within the acceptable range, it's very important to check that out with us and download that score report as a PDF because you will upload it at the time you apply to the teacher ed program. We also ask that candidates demonstrate an evidence of satisfactory written and oral skills. And we determine this through an impromptu writing essay and an interview. So how do you apply to the teacher education program? It is an online application process. We have the link here. And along with the application, you're going to submit an unofficial Montclair State transcript, which you will get from Nest, and you'll learn more about that when you're in the swing of things. Your passing test scores, an admissions essay, and we give you a prompt on what we're looking for. A resume, which is a one-page document just highlighting any experience you have in education, working with children, volunteer, community involvement. And we say here a letter of recommendation, but what we actually mean is for you to list a reference. And what you're going to do is put a faculty member, someone from your major or from an education class you've taken, you're going to put their name and their email. And then the system will generate a form that gets sent to them that they complete. So it's not an actual hard copy letter of recommendation that you need to submit. And again, the deadlines are September 15th in the fall, February 1st in the spring. Once you submit an application, it's about a 6 to 8 week timeline where the next steps happen and your application is reviewed and then a decision is rendered and we email you with the notification.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So yes, once again, those application deadlines are September 15th for single certification only. February 1st is single certification, and February 1st is the only time we accept the combined bachelor's master's application. All right, so some ways to get involved on campus. So we have a few organizations, several organizations that are tied very closely to the teacher education program. We have the Future Educators Association, which is a Class 3 organization of the Student Government Association at Montclair State. Some of you may have been in a Future Educators or an FEA club in high school, or maybe you've at least heard of it. They're very active on campus. They actually just this past academic year won Class 3 Organization of the Year for a lot of the wonderful events and community service activities that took place this past year. They have a really great e-board, and I'm the staff advisor for that particular organization. Another group that we work closely with is the Holmes Honors Program. Holmes Honors Program is for students of color who are admitted to the teacher education program. They are then paired with an alumni of the teacher education program, who is also a person of color, and it's a lot of it deals with mentorship. So these students are mentored by former MSU students who are now teaching for at least a year in various districts. We have the Jumpstart program. Jumpstart is an organization that focuses on preschool literacy. It is either a volunteer program or you earn work study for it, depending on your financial aid package. But Jumpstart goes into schools in Newark and Montclair and teaches preschool students how to read. Well, how to read, reading lessons. There's also some arts and crafts. They sing with the students and they work with the teachers that are already in those respective schools. It's a really great program. JStart.org is the website for more information on that. We have Kappa Delta Pi, which is our International Honor Society in education. Dr. Monica Taylor oversees that particular program, and you'll learn more about that program once you start in the College of Education. We also have the Future Teachers of Color program, which is a program, again, for our students of color who they get mentorship, tutoring is provided to them, different events that are hosted, webinars that they attend, things of that nature. We also have the Newark Teacher Project. This is when a student is in their clinical internship year. Clinical internship means that you're student teaching where you take over a class for an entire semester. But for that year, you will be in the Newark Teacher Project, which is specialized with dedicated faculty, Dr. Maloney and Dr. Pickhour. and you will be at a chosen school in Newark, and you will work at that school for an entire year. But you'll also have special events, you'll have enhanced mentorship, valuable research opportunities. And we also have the Association of Student Curriculum and Development, which is led by Dr. Nicole Barnes, which is another student organization. So please contact us. You have our names here, Mr. Ian Bowie, Program Advisor, Ms. Jan Johnson, Program Specialist. We both advise. So we work with students who are pre-admit, meaning they have not yet been admitted to teacher education. So our audience today, you are pre-admit students, so you should be booking appointments with us. We can meet with you as early as next week. So now that you're here at Montclair, you should have a net ID, Montclair State email. You should use the Navigate system, which is found in Nest. It gives you access to our online calendars. You choose an open time slot, and a Zoom link will be provided to you, and we will talk to you via Zoom at your assigned time slot.
The only thing I'd like to add to that, Mr. Bowie, is if you are making an appointment with us through Navigate, and we highly encourage you to and look forward to meeting each of you, choose select, I'm interested in teaching and I have questions. That will bring you to our availability.
Yes, thank you. So make sure you choose that option. I'm interested in teaching and I have questions. And speaking of questions, we will now we'll stop the slideshow and we will have a Q&A session. So if you have any questions, anything that you would like us to clarify that we discussed or something that we didn't bring up, please feel free to type it into the chat or the Q&A.
Okay, I have a Q&A here from Juliana, and she wants, I think she wants to know, do you know what the minimum passing score for SAT and ACT? Yes. So it says answer live, so I'm gonna just say it. Yes, okay. For ACT, it's a 23 in math and a 23 in reading. Although you have to take the science portion, we do not look for that score. So we're just looking for the math and the
it's called English, actually.
Score, right? For
English.
SAT, it is reading and writing 610 and math 570. Or there's another piece where it could be a reading only of 30 and math of 570. Ian, is it possible for you to put I've never learned how to upload the document into chat. Can you put the test score document in, or you can tell me how to do it?
Yeah, I could do that right. I'll try it right now.
Okay. Are there any other questions while Mr. Bowie is uploading that information?
Actually, I cannot share that file for some reason.
Okay.
So let me share. I'll share the screen. And
okay. Yes, we'll share the screen, and then you can screenshot it, guys. Jessica wants to know if there are restrictions, limitations with internships.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Right.
So here is the standardized test requirement for admission. As you can see, this is the SAT. So you have an option of 3 exams. It's either the SAT, the ACT, or the Praxis Core. So feel free to take a screenshot of this, or write these scores down.
Or email us.
Or email us, yep.
And we will send it to you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Okay, so those are your 3 options. I'll leave this up for a second. Now, the question was limitations on clinical internships.
Let me go back. Are there restrictions, limitations with internships?
So with internships, we have partnerships with over 30 school districts, and that is usually where we place our clinical interns. So these districts are in counties such as Essex, Morris, Bergen, Hudson, Union, Passaic, I may be leaving one county out, but yeah, so we cover several counties, over 30 school districts. The schools are usually located within 30-mile radius of the campus, and you do not get to choose where you go for your internship. The Office of Clinical Internships will make that decision for you. Also, you cannot go to a school district where a parent works, or immediate family member,
Or where
any,
you went to school.
or where you went to school. Yes, definitely not. So those are some limitations. I hope that answers that. If you have a follow-up, just type that in the chat.
I'm going to piggyback on that and say that our program is a model of excellence. It's a strong program, and we encourage participation and in-person experience. So observations start as early as one of the pre-admit prerequisites that you need to take. You will be in a school for at least 30 hours observing a classroom, a board meeting, working with a teacher, doing a community project. So we believe that we believe strongly in participating, observing, and working in a school. We also, I want to go back to one of the groups that Mr. Bowie mentioned for participation, Jumpstart. Although it's an early childhood literacy program, it is an excellent training for anyone who is interested in becoming a teacher. And so we have people who volunteer or work for Jumpstart who want to teach all grades. It's not just for the preschool through third grade. So keep that in mind. Okay, so it looks like some more questions are coming into Q&A. Are the programs listed before open to students of any grade, graduate level?
The programs, so do you mean the student organizations, or do you mean the programs, the academic programs that we discussed? Also, so I'll get back to that. So do I apply for the education program on February 1st during the spring term, and do I wait till next year, which would be my sophomore year, to apply into the program? Yes, you would have to wait until your second semester sophomore year to apply to the program. Most students, again, they apply second semester sophomore year or first semester junior year. Also, if you're intending on applying to the combined bachelor's master's, February 1st is a very important deadline, because it is only once a year that you can apply for that program.
The reason we say students need to wait until second semester sophomore year is because there are prerequisite classes that you need to take before you're eligible to apply to the program. In addition, you need a certain amount of credits in your major. So typically it's 9 credits. If you're in math, it's 11. That's 3 classes. So it's going to take you a good 2 to 3 semesters to fulfill the prerequisites, and then you'll be ready to apply. So the soonest students can usually do it is second semester sophomore year.
Okay, programs such as Jumpstart, Future Teachers of Color, etc., the ones listed on the How to Get Involved slide. All right, thank you for clarifying. No, you can get involved in those programs as early as freshman year. I do think the one exception, though, is the Honor Society. I do believe you have to be accepted into teacher education before you can be admitted into that Honor Society. So that would be sophomore year or later. But all of the other organizations, actually Holmes Honors, one more, Holmes Honors, you do have to be accepted into teacher education. But Future Teachers of Color, ASCD, Jumpstart, FEA, Future Educators Association, you can start participating as a freshman. And the NORC Teacher Project is a clinical internship experience. So that would be actually your senior year. Good question. Thank you. Any other questions? Please type them into the Q&A. And if you don't want to ask your question publicly, then feel free to email us or make an appointment, and we'll talk more in depth about the program.
And we'll just, I'm going to remind you of our emails in case that slide, you didn't take a picture. For Mr. Bowie, it's Ian Bowie, and his email is Bowie, B-O-U-I-E, @montclair.edu. I'm Jan Johnson, Johnson Jan @montclair.edu.
I'm just going to type those emails into the chat. Any more questions? Okay, well, if there aren't any more questions,
I'm sorry, I have a question. With a show of hands, for the people who are attending, can you just do that hand thing? Can you tell me how many people here are family science and human development majors? Okay. How many are educational foundations of elementary teachers? Ooh, okay. And do we have any phys ed and health majors in the room? Great, great. Well, again, it's nice to meet all of you, and I look forward to having a face-to-face.
Okay, thank you all so much. I will be teaching a first-year seminar, Gen Ed 199, this fall. I took a quick look at my roster yesterday, but I can't remember any names, but I might be your professor in the so not only do I look forward to seeing you as an advisor, but potentially as a professor this fall.
So everyone stay well, stay cool. Welcome to Montclair State.
All right, thank you all. Have a great afternoon.
Bye.
Bye.